Today we're looking at Part 12, questions 45 to 47. These are our vocabulary words for this video. First, let's remember what we know about the Constitution from our civics questions. What does the Constitution do? It sets up the government. Good. And what is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution. Good. So there is also a question on the N400 about the Constitution. The Constitution sets up the government. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. The word support means agree with or like. Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? Support means agree with. Do you support the Constitution? Again, the Constitution sets up the government. It is the supreme law of the land. So, do you support the Constitution means, do you agree with our Constitution? Do you think the government is good? The form of government of the United States is a democracy. We have freedom and voting. Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? Do you agree with our democracy? Do you like having freedom and voting? So when the officer asks, do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? You will say yes. The oath of allegiance is a promise to be loyal to the United States. You will take the oath of allegiance at your oath ceremony after you pass your citizenship interview. You will be called for an oath ceremony where you promise to be loyal. You promise to love the United States and take the oath of allegiance. There are two different oaths that you need to know about for your interview. At the beginning of your interview, you will take an interview oath. Do you swear or affirm that the statements you make today will be the truth, the whole truth, or nothing but the truth? And you promise, you say, yes, I do. You promise to tell the truth. On the N400 part of your interview, they will ask you about the oath of allegiance. That is the oath you will take when you become a citizen. That oath is a promise to be loyal to the United States. Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? The oath of allegiance is a promise to be loyal to the U.S. So when they ask, do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States, they mean, do you know what the oath of allegiance is and what it says? So when the officer asks, do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? You will say, yes. The oath of allegiance includes 6 promises. The oath of allegiance says, I legally promise I will be loyal to the United States. You will say, I agree with the Constitution and the form of government in the United States. And you promise that I will obey the laws. Remember, in our civics questions, you're asked, what is one promise you make when you become a United States citizen? to obey the laws. So that is also part of the oath of allegiance. So the oath of allegiance includes, I promise to be loyal to the United States. I promise that I support and agree with the Constitution and our democracy. And I promise that I will obey the laws. There are 3 other promises that we will look at in our next video. Our next question we're talking about today is, are you willing? Are you willing? Like if I said, are you willing to read? I mean, will you read? Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States means, will you take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Will you promise to be loyal to the United States and promise everything the oath of allegiance says? So when the officer asks, are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? You will answer yes. To check your English, the officer might ask you what a question means. Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? And you will say yes. If the officer asks, what is the Constitution? What will you say? You can say, it sets up the government. Or you can say, it is the supreme law of the land. When the officer asks, do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? And you answer yes. The officer might ask, what is our form of government? What can you say? You could say, a democracy. Or when they ask, what is our form of government? You could say, a democracy. We have freedom and voting. Great. When the officer asks, do you understand the full oath of allegiance? What will you say? Yes. If the officer asks, what is the oath of allegiance? Promise to be loyal to the United States. Good. The officer will ask you, are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance? You'll say yes. And if the officer says, what does that mean? I will promise to be loyal to the United States. Good. We will see you next time.